fun. It's different. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Eddie Live podcast. Episode number 224. I am here with Dan the Man.
Hi.
Full Value Dan of the Full Value Dan crypto channel, right? How you doing, brother?
Doing good. How are you?
Good. I mean, I haven't talked crypto for so long because it was dying, and
it wasn't a good time.
it wasn't a good time. But now it seems to be coming back, right?
Yeah, things are really brewing right now.
Okay, so what do you think caused that?
I think it's due to the institutional interest.
Mhm.
You know, BlackRock and all these other big funds have been filing for the spot Bitcoin ETF.
Yeah.
If that gets approved, and a lot of people think it will, a
Okay.
lot of institutional money is going to flow into Bitcoin and potentially other cryptocurrencies in anticipation of that.
Beautiful. Okay, actually, that's one of my questions. The big, if you had to explain the Bitcoin ETF, so the issue with to somebody, how would you do it?
Well, you got to think of like inflation and just
Yeah.
money being devalued. So a lot of people are going to de-risk by investing their money into things like gold and other real world assets, including things like Bitcoin. So that has become a flight to safety, which you may have heard as a term, and that is just an investing term where they want to invest in something that won't get diluted, that will hold its value. So people are investing in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies to avoid their US dollars becoming devalued, as we've seen with other currencies globally, with the Venezuelan bolivar, the Turkish lira, even the Japanese yen.
Yeah, the yen. I mean, it's surprising because the yen's always so strong, right?
Yeah.
And now it's like, it's kind of crazy how everything is. Yeah.
But for everyone else, it's a great time to visit those countries.
True. Yeah, I love Japan. That was one of the things though when we went a few years back. Everything's so expensive.
Yeah.
When you're making your
then?
back in the day. Now it's okay, right?
It's like 50% off.
Okay, half price. All
Yeah.
right, so it's a fire sale. Let's go. Right. How's the channel?
Not great. I haven't been making content.
But your channel's still growing now. It's beautiful, man.
Pretty good with the SEO. So if people are looking for certain coin reviews, like it's there.
Okay.
I'm definitely going to make another push for a lot of content. I've been getting better. I guess physically. You've been exercising more. My vision was having issues. Apparently, I had I guess malnutrition or
Okay.
or vitamin deficiency, because I
Okay.
ran out of vitamins a few months ago and it's like I just didn't refill it. It's like I probably don't need these.
Okay.
I do.
So you do.
Need vitamins.
Okay.
I'm at
Okay.
the age where I need vitamins, and I also hit the age where like I need glasses for far away and close up. So that's why I've been getting headache.
Okay.
Yeah.
What age is that, man? Because
Uh,
I don't want to mention your age. You look first of all, you got the Asian blood, right?
Yeah.
So you look like 20 years younger.
yeah.
Usually, right?
That's-
Yeah. It doesn't happen all the time, but usually, right? Asians don't raisin, they say, right?
That's true. And I do a little
You look super young. You don't have any gray. You're looking good, man. A little bit of gray.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna say like 35.
Higher.
You're up. Okay. Okay. I'll give me 38,
A little higher.
40.
39.
You're 39.
39,
Okay.
yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, shoot, man. I mean, I don't know, but your things are doing well though, right? So you're exercising.
Been exercising.
Beautiful. What are you doing for exercise, man?
Just treadmill, some free weights. Been using like this app that says like what you should exercise on every day,
Nice.
and like
Okay.
they follow up with you. I'm like, all right, this is helping me do stuff.
Oh, good,
Yeah.
good. Just a little bit of that pressure.
Yeah, and having the markets green and interest coming back, that's inspiring me to make more content. Because
That's good.
In the bear market, when you put a lot of effort into a video, no one watches it. You're like,
Yeah.
well, spend my time doing something else.
No, it makes sense because with the bear market, it was long.
Yeah.
I mean, are we
Those
out of
one
it
the
now?
Longest ones.
Are we out of it
mean-
now? Does it feel like it?
A lot of
I mean-
coins are at their all-time high for this year.
Okay.
Like Bitcoin pretty much tripled in 2023.
Yeah.
A lot of coins have really gained a lot of momentum since October. It's looking good. It's looking good. Yeah,
Okay,
it looks
okay.
like the bear market's over, and there's a lot of opportunities right now.
So we have the halving, right? Next year,
Yes.
right? So that's usually good.
That's usually good. Well, there's two schools of thought on that.
Okay. I'm
So-
always wrong. I always get in trouble. So you got to
Some
clear it up.
people believe it's good just
Okay.
because
There's less.
there's less Bitcoin.
Okay.
There's less Bitcoin you can get. But on the other side of that, people mining, that creates the security for Bitcoin. So it becomes less secure if less people mine it, just because uh, the demand is
Understand.
less, the cost is higher.
So when I don't know what year it's supposed to be, but when that's it, the halving and whatever, it's all done, all the Bitcoin is mined. That's it for miners. I mean, they got to do something else, or what do they do?
They can still mine Bitcoin.
Okay.
Essentially, they're just processing transactions on the Bitcoin network, and they make
okay.
money that way.
Okay. Yeah, because we tried a little bit of that mining stuff. It was rough. It didn't work out too well for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did meet some people at Taipei Blockchain Week
Beautiful.
who
Tell me about
do
that.
like validators and nodes,
Nice.
where they run the computers, and then people stake to their nodes. They make
Okay.
money off that. There's a lot of different opportunities to make crypto, and that's not even investing. It's just like more on the technical side.
Beautiful. So what about that? Since you mentioned it, let's talk a little bit about we just had the Taipei blockchain. Was it week?
Yeah,
Is it a
Taipei
week?
Blockchain Week.
Okay.
So it was the second time they had that.
Awesome.
Other versions of crypto events in Taiwan were like Asia Blockchain Week as of a few years ago,
Mhm.
and now Taipei Blockchain Week has really been growing. It was an excellent event for a small crypto convention, because I've been to some other small events like ETH Taipei, and it's kind of like a
It's kind of like someone private booked a restaurant or something, or it's not that quite small, not quite that small.
It's like if you had to throw a crypto convention and you have no experience doing that, and like, oh, let's just get a table and a sign. That's what it was.
Okay. It's funny because sometimes people, they get so much into, let's use a restaurant for example, like a chef, like the chef. It's like they're really into the food and stuff, and then they kind of neglect everything else.
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe like the plates, the
Yeah.
presentation.
yeah,
like-
and then the food is amazing,
Mhm.
but nothing else is, right? Like
Right.
the service or the ambiance or whatever.
Mhm.
Another example was I just recently was doing the English commentary for boxing.
Oh,
right?
nice.
For professional fights here in Taiwan.
Mhm.
And I know the guys because I do the English commentary for MMA,
Mhm.
right? And so the boxing guys, they said, hey, we love that, would you be interested in doing it for boxing? Like, of course.
Yeah.
I love doing that stuff, right? Get to be part of it and not have to get hit, right? So it's
Yeah.
perfect, win-win, right? And I know a lot of the fighters and stuff, so it was great, and it worked out. And I went, and they rented a gym in Taoyuan, and I was, we went in, and it was just like kind of like a small gym, and I thought, okay, it's, wasn't nothing so crazy. But then they had smoke machines, and they had like spotlights, and they had like the gear that they had for us to commentate with was incredible. They had two screens. They had the live screen and then the standby screen, and then they had they had so much. It was amazing, and I just thought, holy crap, this is
A very
is-
professional
it was
experience.
so they had like the gym, there's like a stage in the gym, and then they had like a huge projector there, and they had a video playing, and then they had the walkout, like a WWF sort of thing. And I thought, holy crap, this is amazing, right? Because I've never got to be a part of that. And yeah, it was just a small gym, and people didn't really know. And then I'm like pushing, I'm like, come. And they're like, where's the link? Where's this? Where's that? So definitely, yeah. So everybody, they get really busy doing the whole point of the story is people get busy, they're doing their thing. And then, they put on this like 10 out of 10 event.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really like a lot of people are like, hey, why didn't you tell me? Well, I told you, but it's hard to get the marketing. The marketing is the tough part. Yeah.
Yeah, and people, they're like, oh, okay, I know what that is, but once you experience it and
Yeah.
feel that energy, you want to be a part of it.
It was beautiful, man. And then next month also I get to go and do the MMA one again. So the MMA one is two or three times a year, and so is the
Nice.
other one. So it's great, man. I love doing it. And again, it started from the podcast. I get to interview fighters, and then I get to go do live commentary like Joe Rogan style. It's fun, man. I love it.
You're following his path.
I love it, brother. I love it. Just got to get that Spotify deal,
Yeah,
man.
next up, well, you're doing the reverse Rogan. Next up is stand-up comedy.
Yeah, got to do the stand-up. Okay. I could do that. I could do
Yeah.
that, I think. Yeah. So tell me a little bit more about the blockchain. You're saying this event was good. It was well done.
Yes, it was very
Okay.
well done. They had very good panels. There were just a few things that could have been improved.
course, always.
Like the sound system at one of the stages just wasn't very good. Like I actually had to tell them, like, can you please turn up the volume? I really want to hear this. I can't hear it.
Okay.
And it's I guess no one wanted to say anything to be polite, but I was like, I got to say something.
No, you have
Yeah.
to say something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially because you make videos.
Yeah.
And you're a video and you're an audio guy, right? And so like,
Yeah.
yeah, sometimes I'll have a buddy who he'll just do like a clip video or something for his business, and he'll use his phone and stuff, which
Hmm.
is fine. But the audio, it'll be like super echoey and boomy, and he's like, "Hey, what do you think of this?" And I'm like,
You need clear
I'm
audio.
like, just get a cheap little Bluetooth thing, clip it here, and you're golden,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, there's lots of those, and they're not expensive. So yeah,
Yeah, there's even some apps that really clean up the audio
yeah, there
for
you
you.
go.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic, man.
Hmm.
I love that. Yeah. So what did you learn, man? Any behind the scenes goodness that you can share with us about Taipei Blockchain Week?
I mean, I really felt the energy. A lot of people are very bullish about what's happening. I I kind of got involved. Well, I'm someone sold me on a blockchain to just really research and look into, just because it was
Beautiful.
being mentioned in so many different panels. So I was like, all
Beautiful.
right, they sold me on this. I'm deep diving into it and
And you make
seeing
a video.
the value of it. Yes.
Beautiful.
So I learned a lot. I think it's the best way to learn a lot of different things in one day.
Okay.
It's definitely exhausting to sit through a lot of panels, but if you want to learn as much as possible about what's going on in blockchain,
Uh-huh.
absolutely attend one of the many crypto conferences around the world.
So again, uh, I, I memean, I'm not super involved in crypto. I
Mhm.
like it a lot, but I didn't even know about it until I saw your post. So again, I mean, it seems to be there's a disconnect again. So how did I mean? You're like one of the main dudes.
Yeah,
So you
I guess
obviously knew, but how did you know? How did you find out?
it's because people were talking about it.
Okay,
'Cause
you're the people in your circle,
yeah,
maybe.
like
Okay,
they asked me, am I going to Taipei Blockchain Weekend? Or they keep mentioning it, or I'm actually on the mailing list for it too, just
okay,
because I went to the one last year.
gotcha.
So, and I kind of just look for events that are convenient or the big ones. So the
Okay.
big ones throughout the year are Consensus, which happens in the United States. It's happening in Austin, Texas this year. There's Token 2049 that happens in Singapore and in Dubai next year. I'm actually going to
Oh,
attend both. I
oh,
went to Token 2049 Singapore last year, had a lot of fun, learned a lot. So that was a great experience. I'd recommend that for anybody.
beautiful.
Hmm.
Oh, maybe. Let's see if we can swing out there.
Hmm.
Yeah. So you go alone, or does the wife go, or is
I
she not a
guess it
big crypto
depends. So
kind
when I went
of?
to the event
Texas. No,
Texas, yeah, my wife
okay,
went with me because we were
beautiful.
visiting my family.
Nice.
For Token 2049 Singapore, my wife went with me like a week before the event. She left, she only stayed the weekend, and I stayed for the convention, which was a lot of fun.
Okay.
So my wife likes traveling too, and she doesn't want me to have too much fun by myself.
Hey,
Yeah.
that sounds very familiar, like a wife, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
I was like, all
dare
right, I
you,
guess
dare you.
got to share the fun.
Share the fun.
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, so I remember, yeah, you went. So obviously you're saying convenience.
Hmm.
We're in Taipei.
Yeah.
So obviously it was, where was it, Nangang, or
It was next to Sun Yat-sen.
also like right downtown?
Yeah, it was
Oh,
downtown. It
wow.
was right there at I think I'm really bad with the Chinese
That's okay.
names.
That's okay. No problem.
You know that art exhibit park by Sun Yat-sen?
I'm bad too, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes um it's not just the Chinese. You've been here for so long. Like I remember when I had my brother here a long time ago. We were walking down the street. He just arrived, and we walked by a temple, and I'm just going, "Tut, tut, tut, tut," and he's like, "Oh, what is that?" I'm like, "What?" He's like, "That." I'm like, "Oh, it's a temple." I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh shoot, you never seen that."
Mhm.
So yeah, definitely. Yeah, I cut you off, but yeah. So yeah, downtown site, Sun Yat Sen. You're in there. It was a week long event.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
it's like, yeah, it was 2 days for the main convention. Then the first 3 days was the hackathon, and then there were two more side events after.
Hackathon.
So there was a hackathon for Sui, one of the up and coming blockchains. They've been around for 6 months. There is a lot of risk to get involved in anything new like that, but that was
Love
one
it.
of the blockchains that I'm very interested in now.
Okay, beautiful. You got to get that full value note in there. Be like, hey,
Yeah.
there's risk.
Oh,
So
absolutely. Yeah.
watch yourself on the
Yeah,
risk.
a
Yeah.
lot of
Okay.
opportunity, a lot of risk, but there's a lot of opportunity for people who aren't even investing.
Okay.
Like they pretty much pay people to be involved in these ecosystems early. They call them airdrops.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
participate, you
Hmm.
get rewarded for it, and some of the
Okay.
airdrops can be incredibly valuable.
Okay.
So you know Solana.
Of course, Solana boomed is booming,
It's
right? Is
booming. It's
booming, right? I
booming
think
so much, and I
it
missed
went
out
down
on
to.
a lot, but
So
I'm
did
glad I
I.
still have some exposure to it. Like
Yeah.
there was this one application that does staking for Solana, and not a lot of people used it, but when they did their airdrop, it got a lot of attention because everyone who did use that application got $15,000 in tokens.
Man, okay.
So there are a lot of opportunities in crypto. A lot of projects wanted to launch tokens, but they didn't want to do that during the bear market. So these
Yeah.
opportunities are going to be showing up a lot in 2024.
So now that the market is coming back up,
Yes.
now it should be like people are kind of like, I can't release it with in the bear market. So now
Exactly.
they're like, okay, let's go.
Mhm.
Okay, beautiful. We have a couple of quick ones here. Bitcoin to the moon. That's what I heard.
It's happening.
Great to see Dan back on the channel here. Hey, not a crypto tech, but so I cannot comment. But I found out in my experience, technology aside, and the wow factor, what problem does this solve, and is it sustainable?
Well, I guess it depends on what aspect you're looking at, because a lot of them solve many different specific problems. Like if you're thinking about what's the fastest way to send money to someone in another country, it's absolutely cryptocurrency.
Seconds, right?
It's in seconds. You don't need to set up many bank accounts. You don't really get questions by the bank like, oh, why are you sending this wire transfer?
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah.
Why? I'm like,
Yeah. And then, all the additional fees. So that's probably the biggest use case for it. As for Bitcoin to the moon, that very likely could happen upon the approval of the spot Bitcoin ETF.
Okay, beautiful. Yes. So just quickly on that, talking about the banks and the bank transfers and the fees and all that, XRP won their suit against the SEC, right? So, and then it's kind of went up, and now it's kind of like everyone's like, oh, it's going to go to explode. So what's happening with
So
that?
I don't know too much
Okay.
about XRP,
Okay.
but there's a lot of other blockchains that have been building and coming up with similar solutions to XRP. So I think that's one of the issues that's going to be having to fight.
Perhaps maybe when they started, they were the only one, and then
Right.
they were tied up for so long that people caught up. Maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a diluted space with
Okay.
like newer, shinier objects that people want to get involved with.
Gotcha. I know a little bit about that because when it's all bear market and everyone's happy, then
Yeah.
it's like, whoa. Sorry, bull market. But when it's bear market, you're like, oof.
Yeah, it's
Oof, I haven't done anything with crypto for
like
so
you
long.
just don't want to look at it.
Yeah, it's like, oh, and then the wife's like, oh, what about that one? I'm like, yeah, it's coming. Take
So-
it easy.
So for anyone like that isn't involved, getting a little exposure to Bitcoin might be a good idea. So
Yeah.
let's talk a little more about the spot Bitcoin ETF.
Please. I
Just
would love you. I would love
because-
to know about that. Yeah.
All these institutional funds are applying for this spot Bitcoin approval,
Yes.
and they have trillions of dollars under management. Now they make money when they sell things to their clients.
Okay.
So they're wanting to sell Bitcoin potentially. This is the theory behind it.
Okay.
They want to sell Bitcoin to their clients,
Yes.
so they can take a cut of the management fees for that.
Okay.
So if we see money flow into that, then we're going to see a lot of price action for Bitcoin, where it can potentially go up. I mean, but it can also potentially go down. But as we see, with inflation and everything happening, and these approvals, having another asset that these clients can diversify into isn't a bad idea.
Yeah. Also, I think the with the U.S. dollar kind of like the inflation's high,
Inflation,
and then the dollar seems to be weakening, right?
yes, a
Yeah.
lot of other countries are considering like moving into
What's-
other safe havens besides the U.S. dollar.
Yeah. Well, there's what was it like? It's like Russia, Brazil, or something.
Yeah,
What was that? There was something. BRICS.
Brazil, Russia, India, China. I forgot the last one. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that's not good for the U.S. dollar, I guess, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right. Because they, the U.S. dollar is heavily controlled by the U.S. government. They
Yeah.
printed a lot of money, which diluted everyone who was like holding on to it and using that as their stable currency.
Yeah, that's sad. So I think things like gold is still good, right? I guess.
It's steady. It's holding steady.
okay,
But
and
the new
but it's no
digital
crypto.
gold, it's
Yeah.
crypto.
Okay.
Just because another reason behind holding Bitcoin through a spot Bitcoin ETF, just because it makes it easier to hold the value of Bitcoin without actually having to have Bitcoin in your own wallet.
Physically, right? Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't have to be responsible if that money is lost or not. Someone else is doing that managing for you.
Okay.
When the gold ETF launched, it was the easiest way to hold the value of gold without having to have physical gold.
I was gonna say that the gold, because I mean, do you have to do that old movie, The Italian Job?
Yeah.
It is. You just got like a safe full of gold. I mean, that's
Yeah,
probably
but
not a great idea.
Yeah, I don't know how besides using a pawn shop, like how do
Yeah.
you get liquidity out of physical gold?
Yeah, like that. What is that? That pawn shop on the that's got their own reality show
Oh, Pawn Stars.
Pawn Stars. That's I
Yeah,
love that show,
yeah.
man.
Let's just give you 25% of the value
That's
of your gold.
and not a penny more,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and you're like, yeah, that doesn't sound like a good
Hmm.
deal, right? So funny, man. So obviously, with the bear market seemingly ending, right? I think there was a lot of dips for many different reasons, and
Hmm.
and a couple of them were because of some of the big, what can I say, the big CEOs of some big, what are they called? Like a CZ from Binance,
Yeah.
right? Stuff like that. Sam Bankman-Fried, and then even like a while back, Do Kwon, right? Like all these
Yeah.
guys. So
So
what's your opinion on all that stuff, man?
it's gonna happen again. It's
Okay.
absolutely gonna happen again. That's why you have to be educated in what's going on in crypto. You have to be safe. You have to diversify. A lot of people that are experienced got caught up with it. So it's all about risk management.
Okay. Okay. And then what about with that NFTs? At one point there was the Bored Ape thing that
Yeah.
was just like millions or billions for NFTs, and then it went to like a couple grand or
Yeah,
something.
it still has some value, but if you are investing in NFTs, that's one of the higher risk markets in crypto.
Okay.
Definitely look for things with utility that have value long term.
Okay. Okay. So if someone were to ask you five kind of like blue chips, let's just say blue chip cryptos that you would give out. I mean, obviously number one is Bitcoin,
Bitcoin,
right? Of
yes.
course. Yeah.
Then there's also Ethereum.
Ethereum, these two. Okay.
Yeah. So, the price is high, but there's a lot of value flowing into these. There's a lot of security. There's a lot of belief behind it.
Yeah.
You don't want to take too much risk on a smaller coin
Hmm.
while Bitcoin and Ethereum just keep pumping.
Yeah.
Now, Ethereum has a lot of value because not only does it have its own ecosystem, it has other blockchains building on top of them.
Yeah.
So Ethereum is considered like a layer one blockchain, and a blockchain built on top of a layer one is called a layer two.
Gotcha.
Now, there are dozens of layer two blockchains that are launching on top of Ethereum. These are things like Arbitrum, Optimism, Polygon, and what they're using is what they're doing is they're making transactions faster and cheaper while still leveraging the security of Ethereum.
So does that help Ethereum?
Exactly.
It does help. It's still like strengthening Ethereum because everything's built there.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
So they're still using the security. They're
Okay.
still paying a lot of fees in Ethereum,
Mm-hmm.
which creates more value for Ethereum holders. And with every transaction that happens on Ethereum, a little bit of Ethereum gets burned. And at the current rate, it is deflationary. So that just means if you're holding any Ethereum and let's say the price stays steady, but the supply goes down, that price is going to go up.
Supply and demand.
Yes.
Beautiful. Okay, so those are obviously the big two. So let's talk a couple other ones. What are you thinking?
So the hardest thing
It's tough.
too is to say anything specific.
No,
'cause,
yeah. I mean,
you know,
obviously, this is not financial advice. It's just for my curiosity because I've been out of it for so long. Like I sold most of my stuff, and I did make a profit, but not like I would have made if I held on until now, right?
Right.
And it's always like, it's crazy.
So I talked to a lot of people at Taipei Blockchain
Yeah.
Week. I just wanted to see what they're looking at, what they're
Yeah.
investing in, and
Yeah.
a lot of people are very apprehensive with good reason.
Yeah.
I love talking to these people because you can get a lot of information from them, like on their theory or their thesis behind any
Yeah.
type of investment.
Yeah.
And they don't want to shill anything because they don't want to be
Get
held
sued.
accountable. And I'm kind of in that same situation.
Understandable.
Where I'm looking at things that have like utility that might be uh have a lot of potential in the future to solve the issues that we're having today. And then one of the biggest issues that happens are hacks. There are so many hacks.
Yeah. Always happen. Yeah.
These blockchains and decentralized applications that are pretty much in the Ethereum ecosystem. So that's because Solidity has pretty weak security when it comes to programming. There's a lot of mistakes people can make. So that's why people have
Like
moved
there's
over.
backdoors and stuff people kind of install in sort of
It's just-
certain blockchains.
They
and
just
stuff.
forgot to do something. Like,
Okay.
we forgot one line of code and now the money's gone.
Yeah, oof, that's tough. Okay, what about I saw recently? Just going through your channel again. You did a video on Filecoin,
Oh yeah.
and that's like decentralized storage.
Yes.
Is that something you think is
I think there's absolutely a market for that,
Okay.
especially with AI and all these AI models
AI,
needing
everything. Yeah.
thousands of gigabytes and terabytes
Yes.
of data.
Hmm.
So that is something I am investing in just because it made sense. It's not something I'm recommending, but it's
Okay.
something that I looked at. I found that there is going to be potentially a lot of value to that if,
Mhm.
developers can take the leap and jump into the blockchain world. Now they
Gotcha.
are a business, they are making revenue.
No, they have to. The thing
Yeah,
is, when people, they have to. If like, for example, right now it's kind of slow season for the restaurant, and it's slower, and it's like you have to make a revenue.
right. A lot of blockchains don't.
That
So
that's
they're just
crazy.
they're just all marketing.
That's because the worst thing is having a business. But I mean, I know there's charities and all that stuff,
Mhm.
which is good, but there has to be some kind of revenue. Again, let's talk about that boxing thing. It was
Yeah.
amazing, and I mean, we had like 500 or 600 people watching us live, and it was a small gym. It was full, but it was a small gym. But it's like there has to be money eventually,
Exactly. So
because then you got to pay the fighters, and then you got to pay the production team. It was amazing. There
yeah.
has to be income.
So that's a problem with a lot of crypto investing.
Yeah.
People don't try to figure out like how does this company make
Use
money?
case, right?
Yeah, what's the use case? How are they going to generate revenue?
Yeah.
How will they be more valuable today, and how will they be more valuable 5 years from now?
Okay.
So a lot of people take risks on meme coins, and
Yeah.
that's a problem.
That's the
Like
lottery ticket.
a few people win the lottery and like, oh yeah, maybe I could do that too. But
Yeah.
you don't see all the stories of everyone else who played the lottery and lost.
Yeah, yeah. Well, what the Dogecoin millionaire, right?
Yeah.
He had his super high, and then it all crashed. And I haven't watched his channel in a long time,
Oh
but
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
it's not worth watching. Like
yeah,
if you
yeah,
follow him on social media, please
yeah.
stop. Like all he
Okay.
does is recommend scams.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dogecoin
Oh
millionaire.
yeah, he's like, oh, he sets it up like, which coin should I invest in? And then someone says the scam coin. He's like, oh, that sounds pretty good.
Let's do it.
So
Yeah,
it's like an indirect way of investing in sponsored his posts. He's promoting things he's getting paid for, and he's not disclosing it.
yeah. That's basically a YouTuber gig, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you're getting whoever comes in and says, "Hey, I'll give you X amount of dollars to do this," and
yeah.
you're like, "Yeah, sure, okay." That's tough because people will trust a certain person, right? And if you guys, just in case you want to check out Full Value Dan's channel, in the description below we have a link to his channel. If you're looking for all your crypto needs, this is the man right here.
Maybe some crypto needs. I got to make more
Maybe
content.
okay, but they're there,
Yeah.
so that's good, man. Awesome, brother. So anything else like surprising, anything new at the Taipei thing?
So when I'm looking at projects, I want to learn as much about them. I want to
Yes.
learn how other people are investing. And one of the things that have stuck with me is like, what are people solving for? Are they solving for something that's been a problem in the past? Are
Mhm.
they solving for something that's a problem today? Or are they solving something that's going to be a problem in the future?
Mm-hmm.
So the highest potential for you to get a lot of returns is for someone solving a problem that's going to happen in the future.
Mm-hmm.
But that's also the most risk. So it's all about identifying these opportunities, allocating a certain amount of risk to it,
Okay.
while not trying to degen into very high risk investments. Because if you are investing in Bitcoin or Ethereum, and they have this steady growth, they do well over time.
Yeah.
You don't need to get rich quick, but getting
Yeah.
rich slow, still pretty good.
Still good. Okay. So one more quick one. That's kind of an old one, but it seems to be. I don't know. I'll just say the ocean, like something like the ocean coin. That's like it's like information kind of
Yeah.
a. It's kind of it seems like a really good use case, but it also never seems to pump.
Yeah. So I looked into it over a
While
year
ago,
ago.
yeah.
Yeah. So my understanding is it's data markets. It's
Yeah.
just a data marketplace,
Okay.
which a lot of people can also kind of copy.
Okay.
And it didn't really have a very unique selling point.
Okay.
And it has also like a limited demand. Like
Yeah.
how many people are actually going to look into this? If you want something that might pump very high, you might want to look into a project that can get a lot of demand and a lot
Gotcha.
of attention. Because a lot of people aren't going to be saying like, check out ocean data markets, or
Yeah.
like to the moon. Like
Yeah,
that's not
I knew one
really-
guy did, and then I dove into it. I'm like, doesn't sound very exciting. You know, like I got you. Beautiful. So, do you think that the go ahead, please?
Oh, I do want to share, like, for anyone
Yes.
that's just wants to get involved in crypto and maybe you don't have a lot of experience, check out Galaxe. It's spelled GALXE.com. They do the partnerships with a lot of different blockchains and decentralized applications.
Okay.
They give you these tasks, you get points, which could eventually be airdrops within all these different ecosystems. So you
Oh,
learn blockchain, you potentially get paid for it, and you could potentially be paid a lot.
okay. That's beautiful, man. That's great. So another thing we were talking about NFTs really quick. What about the whole like buying the land in the metaverse, like the sandbox and all that stuff? Because that at one point was like buy a house near and next to Snoop Dogg and stuff like
Yeah,
that. So that kind of I don't know if that fizzled away or if it's just not because of the bear market. I mean,
I think
tell me
that
about that.
fizzled away just
Okay.
because like a lot of people aren't actually using that application.
Okay.
Obviously, the value would go up if there was a lot of demand to play the sandbox.
Uh-huh.
I tried playing it. I was like, I couldn't get into it.
Yeah. There's a couple, right? There's like a Mana. Mana is one, but that's like connected to a different
It's
not
another
sandbox,
ecosystem.
another
Yeah.
ecosystem. Yeah, yeah. Would it be possible for all of these like sandbox and all that stuff to eventually have like a bridge, like a
Oh,
polka dot bridge, or
it's
is that a thing?
it
I don't
is
know.
well. I mean, it is possible that these NFTs could be utilized on other applications as well. I was playing this game called Pirate Nation. It's also like a NFT
Okay.
Web3
Hmm.
game, and they made their characters voxel art on purpose, and that's the style you see like on Sandbox and all
Okay.
these other like
Gotcha.
kind of like 2D blocky style
Nice.
games. And the intention of doing that was just so that you could utilize these NFTs in other games that are supported
Nice.
that support that type
Okay.
of art.
Okay, beautiful. That's cool because yeah, it's kind of scary when you see and you're like, oh, I have to buy land in one, or do I have to buy land in all, or which one's the one that's gonna boom, which one's not?
I'd say if you like the game, you enjoy playing it to the
Okay.
point where you share it with other people, it's going to be a good game.
Okay, so I did try. Which one was it? I tried a couple of them, and then I also tried to get into Sandbox, but it was you had to buy an NFT. I think it was like $1,000 or something to get in.
Yeah.
Like it was something that was like really. And then when I seen the gameplay, it looked kind of like Minecraft,
Yeah.
but like way old, like not so useful version.
Right. So
Yeah,
if you
I don't know if it's still there, but yeah,
yeah, if you don't enjoy it, like don't
Don't play
invest
it.
in it.
Okay. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's too risky.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay, beautiful, man. So regulate. Do you have any favorite projects right now that you're? No, I wouldn't say shilling, but something that you're like, I'm really bullish on this.
I'm
And
really
again,
bullish
this is not
on.
financial advice.
We'll just talk about the sector.
Okay, okay, go ahead.
uh,
He knows.
Real world assets.
Okay,
So
okay,
this is just cars,
Okay.
houses, physical land,
okay.
just ways that to bring liquidity to these. Because if you have bought a house and you're like, well, I want to sell it, it takes a long time because you have to find a buyer, you have to
Yeah.
go through all this paperwork.
Sure.
Whereas if you have these real world assets on chain, it can get liquidity pretty quickly.
Interesting.
Like, you
Okay.
don't have to go through a lot of these steps. Now, I'm just kind of generalizing it, but a lot of the growth in real world assets has been through private credit. So let's say this institution wants to borrow $10 million, and then these people in the crypto, they have that $10 million to borrow. You just have to pay them some interest.
Okay.
And then
It's kind of like a bank,
it's kind of like
like a
crypto bank.
crypto bank. Okay.
I know. Earning
People are gonna be
interest-
like, what? Yeah,
I
yeah,
know, earning interest, Celsius,
Okay.
BlockFi.
yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot about those ones.
Yeah, but think about it as a better way of doing that with these smart contracts that have to get paid back. There is certain like risk management. Some of these protocols have lost money. I'd check out rwa.xyz. That's the website name.
Wow.
So it looks
okay.
into all the dashboards for real world assets.
Wow.
It shows you the things that are going on there, like how much these protocols are earning, how much they have lost through like bad deals, and then
Okay.
you could find some opportunities there.
Beautiful. Okay, okay. So what about I know at one point, again, sort of pre this current bear market, uh decentralization was everyone was talking about decentralized. And then obviously some people got ripped off and there were some scams here
Yeah.
and there. So do you think that the whole decentralized thing is still an option, or is it like no one needs to be fully regulated, or what's your opinion on that?
I think a healthy balance.
Okay.
I am looking forward to the Bitcoin ETF.
Okay.
Um, just because it is another way to hold Bitcoin without, having to hold your keys. You're not traveling. Someone, robs you. Is like, oh, my Bitcoin's gone.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it'll have to go through the centralized system. So, you could always like diversify and split your money up that way. And that's the only way for like older people, like my parents,
Yeah.
to invest in Bitcoin, because I'm not going to set them up with an exchange account, show them how to
Oh yeah.
do that. It's a lot of steps. They're familiar with the stock market, with their 401ks. I'm like, oh, I get a little exposure here. It's easy.
How can we get the people from the stock market to like believe in crypto?
I think they just have to see it continue to go up, and that
Okay.
kind of causes that FOMO,
Okay.
and then they might start looking into it. And I
Okay.
think with crypto, Web3, NFTs, it's just becoming more public information.
Okay.
Like, people aren't asking what it is,
Mm-hmm.
but they're asking like, why invest in this one?
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Because I think that every time I talk to people that are doing stocks and I bring up crypto, it's like the redheaded stepchild, and they're just like, I'm like, hey, they're like, did you make money? I'm like, yeah, I made some. Did I
Yeah.
make a lot? No, but
I mean, there's still
Yeah.
like, there's even opportunities in crypto stocks,
okay.
like Coinbase stock. That is something that I'm holding just because of the potential of, again, the Bitcoin ETF and trillions of dollars flowing in.
Mm-hmm.
Coinbase is going to do the institutional custody for a lot of these funds.
Okay.
So they're taking like a percentage of that management fee. And if, they're making hundreds of millions of dollars holding trillions of dollars of Bitcoin,
Okay.
their stock's going to go up. So if you look at their stock chart, it's been up only this year.
Well, Coinbase is one of the, I don't know, there's not that many left, right? Like there were so many exchanges, right? And then so many kind of disappeared. And then I think, I don't know, was the SEC went after the big ones, right? Like Binance and CZ stepped down and stuff. So
Yeah.
Coinbase has kind of seems to not have been affected too much from
They played by the rules really well. So
Okay.
they maintain. So if you are in the U.S. or in those jurisdictions that are more restricted, there's Coinbase and Kraken. If you're
yeah.
in other parts of the world, like we are in Taiwan,
Taiwan, baby.
BitGet is pretty good.
BitGet, never even
That's
heard
been
of that.
that's been doing really well. I'm actually gonna make some content for them. So I was like, all right, this is it. Boom, BitGet. There's a plug.
Shout out to BitGet. I never heard of it. What is it? Is it an exchange, a
It is an
Taiwanese
exchange.
exchange, or Asian, or what is it?
I guess it's an international exchange. They
okay.
kind of focus more in Asia.
Okay.
It was pretty cool because at Taipei Blockchain Week, they had like a physical airdrop where if you could play this game and do well at it, they'd give you like
Oh,
15
man.
bucks in Bitcoin.
That's
I was like, oh,
awesome.
that's pretty nice. I just walked by, they gave me $15.
That's amazing. Wow. Okay. Wow, beautiful, man. I love that. So we were talking again about security,
Mhm.
right? And talking about, people need to learn because, for example, if you're in like early or now, you have to have that, memorize all those words or whatever,
Yeah.
right? Which I can't remember what the term
Seed
is for that.
phrase.
Seed phrase, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is like that's crazy because I can't even remember my friggin' email password. So
There's
tough.
a lot. Yeah, you make one mistake, it's like, oh,
It's all
lost
gone.
it. You
It's
lost it
gone,
all.
right? So what's your recommendation for, like, where do you keep your? I mean, obviously, don't share exactly what I mean. Like, what's your recommendation?
I
for
don't have
something
any
like that?
cryptocurrency.
There you go. He's got
So,
nothing.
no
He's got zero. He's got zero.
But there are like some, revolutions in wallet management.
Okay.
I'm still looking into them. There's a lot that you can connect your social media to, like your Google account, and you can manage some funds there.
Okay.
Um,
Is that safe? You think? Or
I think it's pretty safe where they kind of offload the security to Google.
okay.
And
Okay. Okay.
there's a lot of ways to really secure your Google account where,
Gotcha.
there's NFC tags, there's like these special keys where you would be the only person to unlock your Google account
Okay.
and have access to that wallet.
Okay. Because I mean, there's the what is it? The hardware wallet
Hardware
thing, which
wallets,
seems
yeah.
to be, I don't know. From what I've seen, it's a little expensive, but it's not that. It just seems really hard to use. Like when I've seen it, I was like, what the hell? I'm gonna first of all lose this thing.
Right.
And then it's like, so if it has any,
I mean, I have a couple hardware wallets.
Okay.
It depends on what it is. A lot of them are, I just use for cold storage. Like I won't connect to the internet.
Yeah.
It's just like, all right, these are my savings. Don't touch it. Back it up, lock it up somewhere in
Okay.
another part of the world.
Okay, exactly, right. So are those things, are those are physical, right?
Mhm.
And then you hide them or whatever, and then you still need the seed phrase or whatever to get in all that.
The seed phrase just helps you restore your account. You could use that seed phrase on like a digital wallet,
Okay.
like Coinbase wallet or
Okay.
something.
Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. That's cool, man. I love that. So type one more thing, type A blockchain.
Hmm.
Anything new, kind of anything sort of Taiwan kind of coming up?
I wouldn't
Because I mean,
say
what
specifically Taiwan, but they
Asia?
just kind of hosted it,
Hmm.
and that's there's a lot of blockchains building. There's a lot of money flowing into it now. And if you have no money and just want to get involved and potentially have money, I was like, go for the crypto airdrops. Check out Galaxy,
Okay.
participate, learn, and a lot of these things. There's a lot of giveaways, especially in the smaller projects. Any
Okay.
project with less than 20,000 followers, they'll have these Twitter spaces. You show
Hmm.
up, they'll do giveaways. Another project I'm looking at is like EtherFi. They're doing like this Christmas event, and only like 7 people participated, where you can win like Ethereum.
Oh,
Yeah,
what?
it's like they're giving away a lot, but I didn't want to participate because I'm kind of like a crypto influencer, because you were supposed to make like a short video and write
Okay.
things about it. Yeah,
But it's tough because again, like when there's zero marketing,
right,
right? That's a tough thing, man, because that's like the lifeblood of anything. And you again going back to saying that some of the places are like, I don't know if non-profit is the right word, but if they're not making profit, that's tough, man.
right.
Because eventually, because all these people that are very they're energetic and they're into it and they love it and they're promoting and then they're pushing. I mean, they need to have a salary. They need to make some money. There has to be some profit.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
the way these like crypto projects work, they's like, I got an idea, I'm going to build something. Then they go to the venture funds and like, all right, we're investing this money. And then, with that money, they start building it. They are getting like a salary from it. There are ways they're supposed to manage that money.
Okay.
And part of it is to, build a following. They all have marketing budgets.
Yeah.
And the hardest thing to do is build a following of like real users that stick around, that aren't just there for the
The,
free money.
the free
Um,
money that they can dump as soon as it's worth something, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why there are a lot of opportunities in crypto, because you can have the best project out there. If no one's using it, it's not going to survive.
That's like any business, man. I mean, you can have the best, dumplings or bagels
Yeah.
or burgers, but if nobody knows, no one's going, right?
Right.
That's tough.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what do you think is the next step to take crypto to like the mainstream? Because obviously, like when you bring up crypto to certain people, they freak. Oh, it's a scam, and Jake Paul and
Yeah.
the Paul brothers and all this. I'm like, just whoa, just take a step back. It's
I
not all
mean,
that.
you're not wrong, but
It's true. It's true. Yeah. Yeah.
but there's like legitimate things out there. So I
Yeah.
think the thing that's going to bring like mass adoption is games, like
Okay.
crypto games. And
Okay.
that doesn't necessarily mean you'll make money off it,
Okay.
but the younger generation is going to learn about it, and then that's really the tech savvy generation that can bring in the sustainability into the crypto ecosystems.
Okay. Speaking of games, there was that one game. I can't remember the name. You actually introduced it to us. Apparently, there was a bunch of people in the Philippines. This was a few years ago. It was like one of the
Axie
first
Infinity.
Axie Infinity. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that kind of boomed, and then it kind of died down a
Mhm.
bit. So is that still around, or
That's
do
still
people start
They're
playing it?
still building. They're still playing.
Okay.
They're making like side games with the same types of NFTs you can
Okay.
use.
Oh, beautiful. Okay. So there is like long-term potential for games.
Yes, it doesn't mean those games are going to make you rich by
Okay.
investing in it. Just because you need demand for those coins, and if they're just giving it away,
Mm.
the price is going to go down over
Supply
time.
demand
Yeah.
is kind of the opposite,
Mhm.
right? Okay. Okay. Beautiful, man. I don't know, man. I mean, I think we've done awesome here. Time is flying, but do you have anything that you want to add before we call it? We can go a bit longer.
I just say like there are a lot of opportunities. If you don't know what you're doing, that's all right. No one does.
Okay. Yeah.
It's just taking things step by step, using like a secure computer that you're okay with taking these risks. Like I use Google Chrome, and then I have multiple Chrome profiles.
Okay.
Some use like certain wallets where like, all right,
The
yeah,
MetaMask stuff, right?
exactly.
Okay.
MetaMask is kind of universal, but there's other better
Okay.
wallets out there.
Okay.
Um, and just yeah, take things one step at a time. There's a lot of ways to get crypto for free, again, just by participating. So it's your time is the most valuable thing, and that's what a lot of these projects want. They want to take your time, they want to show you what they have to offer, and they want you to bring you into their ecosystem.
Okay. And last question, what is the best way for them to learn about, like you're saying, there's all these opportunities,
Yeah.
but like the average Joe doesn't know, has no idea. So what's the best way to find
Oh,
this stuff?
that's going to be tough.
Okay, well, I mean, what do you do? Because you're plugged in already,
Yeah,
right?
so I'm in like crypto Twitter, where
Okay.
it's just all
So
the
maybe
information.
crypto Twitter. Okay.
Yeah, crypto Twitter. Actually, there's this really good daily podcast called The Daily Gwei with Anthony Sasal. I get a majority of my information there. He breaks it down. It's some of the more technical stuff, but every now and then, it's like, all right, there's these new projects. These are what they're building, and he's very interested in like the Ethereum ecosystem and
Nice.
building on top of Ethereum.
Okay. Okay. Beautiful, man. Well, I gotta say thank you very much. It was a long time. I hadn't seen you, and I don't remember the last time. I think when we went for breakfast, or was it lunch that day
Yeah, I
downtown?
think over a year ago.
That's
Yeah.
a long tamed fox. I think it's
Yeah.
called. Yeah, went there for a while. It was a nice brunch we had there.
Good deep fried French toast.
It was a great
Mhm.
it was a great chat, and thank you for coming, man. I appreciate it. Let's get you fed here. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you guys next week. If you guys want to find out more information about Full Value Dan, in the description below, go to this guy's channel. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Appreciate it.
And if you're in Taiwan, come to Eddie's. The Hakka pork tacos, amazing.
We're gonna have some right now. Take care, guys. Bye bye.
Bye.